Okay, here we are. Oh, I see that mobile has a new interface a little bit. Looks like I can see how much we make on a live stream. Sweet. Let the grift begin. This content is not for you. What do I mean by that? Well, let's see. And because it needs to be said, I will say this. The content I make during these live streams is not scripted. I don't have a script sitting here telling me what to say. It's not well thought out. Not only am I talking to you, but I'm also navigating a road, which you can say is dumb if you'd like, which is you would probably be right. Nonetheless, here we are, week after week. We generally have one of these a week while I drive. So what I'll say is that where this sort of spawned out of is partially my discussion last night, but also with a lot of stuff we see on Twitter with how modern like game development has gone. We get a lot of people mocking the phrase, well, it's just not made for you. So I thought it would be interesting to discuss the fact that I don't always think that the phrase, or maybe even that the games industry now is not made for us. And us being like the probably 35 to 45 crowd. Those who grew up in like the NES, Atari NES, Super NES days, like those were our first consoles. Like that sort of swath of people, like up to PlayStation 1, are like, this is not, the stuff we're seeing is not for us. Like there is an argument to be made. And I know it's trendy to go like against the grain, right? We gotta fight fire with fire. They don't give quarter, neither do we. I think in a lot of ways it's just as cringe as a lot of the other shit I see on the internet. Just my personal opinion. Right, do with that as you will. Again, this is not an indictment of anyone else. It is just my take on things. You can go or stay as you please. But yeah, I just don't think that what we're seeing right now is for us. I mean, quite simply, and not for any other reason than the people who have now taken over, right? Like, we had a whole generation go by. We're in a place now where our kids, like, I am old enough to to basically have someone just entering the gaming field. I mean, I'm just barely young enough, or I'm just barely old enough for that to happen. And so those people have now, what others call, infiltrated the games industry. Where, and I think in a lot of respects, it's not necessarily an infiltration. Not always an infiltration, but a lot is just, hey, I'm now in this field because I grew up, I went to school, I went to a liberal arts school that taught me X, Y, and Z, and I wanted to make games, and here I am. And, perhaps they have been indoctrinated in some way to believe that, whatever it is, whatever the ideology is that's ruined games. But I don't necessarily think it's because we've turned our backs on anything. I think through the natural progression of aging, we've sort of, hey, what's up, Trey? We've sort of just like lost institutions. And if you even want to go as far as to say we, as in somehow I had possession of them before, or the group had possession of them before, a lot of it, I think, is a failure of the modern education system and what it takes to truly write a good story, because that's where a lot of these failures are coming in. At least this is how I see it. It's because those who show up make the system. Right. And this is in a lot of ways why conservatives lose the culture war a lot, because they don't show up for the arts. Like, if we want to put a label, liberals show up for the arts. Conservatives don't always show up for the arts, and I would say that they're complaining about it, in large respect, lost them the war on all that. So, you be that as it may, it's again, but I do think there's something that can be done about it. And I don't think re-infiltrating AAA is the way to do it. We can absolutely be critical. We should absolutely be critical of the products that we used to enjoy, that we don't enjoy anymore. But the companies have been lost to people who are just completely unskilled. That's not the right word. I feel stupid for even using that word. And, I lost my train of thought there. Sorry, guys. The people making games right now are essentially people who lack the necessary skills to write compelling stories. We've seen it a lot. And that's unfortunate, because as I was trying to illustrate last night on the stream with Hypnotic, was that I think there's a lot of innocent people caught in the crossfire. I think there's people who are genuinely skilled, who are caught inside of an extremely liberal company that have no chance of totally breaking the mold. But they're like, hey, I need to feed my family, and this is where I was hired 5-6 years ago, and I didn't expect that this was what's going to happen. You can be critical in good faith. I don't understand the arguments of telling people their hobbies are destroyed and not provide viable alternatives or suggestions on how to make their voices heard. Yeah, no, I agree. No, I think that's a part of being the solution, and some people may engage in that discussion of like, oh, well, here's the alternative. The one thing I have seen that is, we have some people, and my friend Hora Murata, she's starting to showcase indie games on her live streams, which I think is just fucking fantastic. We need to showcase indie developers. That kid needs to look up from her phone. Holy shit. We need to showcase indie developers. I'm gonna get a coffee, y'all, so give me a quick pause.
Thank you for choosing Computers. Can I get you started with a warm everything bagel sandwich today?
That does sound good, but I think I'll pass.
Alrighty, what can I get going for you?
I would just like a, you know what? I will have an everything bagel sandwich.
Everything bagel?
Yeah.
Got it.
Thanks.
Alright. What can I grab you?
Just a medium a medium dark roast with a little half and half, please.
Alright, a medium dark roast with a little bit of half and half. Yep. Alrighty. Okay, and then, did you want any sugar or anything in there?
Nope, no thank you.
Alrighty. Anything else I can get going for you?
That's it.
Alright, you're good to go ahead.
I can scoot on up. Sorry, y'all. I'm hungry. I need my coffee. Gotta do the damn thing. You know how it goes. Give me a second. Hi.
How are you?
Good. Okay. Thanks. What's up, Madhouse? Oh. Sorry. Thank you. Thanks so much.
Have a great day.
You too. All right. Right. I think those are the tactics that I'm discussing. And I think in my discussion last night with Hypnotic, I think, trying to get across to him in his chat, I just don't find it useful if people just keep headbutting each other. Like, it might work every now and then. It really might. Like, if the story is true that guy reached out to him and finally was like, hey, I'll have a discussion with you. That's dope, man. That's cool. Like, so him being himself and being, his, I don't even know how I don't want to say angry, because apparently that's a mischaracterization, but being curt with people and like standing your ground, and again, using a little bit more blunt force. If that worked, good. That works for him. I'm interested in, why is Dev disingenuous? You just happen to agree with him? You can't handle disagreement. He can. I don't know. I've been wanting to talk with Dev a little more. What's up, Hojo? Hope you're great driving with your knees. Dude, I am so good at driving with my knees. I am so good. My wife hates when I do it. But I'll tell you what. Wow, this is going to get everywhere. I'm going to let that cool. Yeah, oh! These people were supposed to keep moving. Yeah, it's like, it's similar to like Lofty. People can't stand Lofty because they just won't agree. They just won't agree with him. Like, why won't you just agree with me? It's like, well, I think one, because Lofty likes the controversy, and that's fine, right? Some people operate in that sphere. They find that other people find it entertaining. But here, my point is this, and people have been here long enough. Trey, you've been here long enough to know like how I do things. I don't find that method useful, and I will stoop to this level. I will use my platform to show people that that's not the way. I don't know, I hate doing that shit. But like, again, it's weird in 2024, or like when you talk to other adults, that you have to say stuff like that. This is my channel, it's my opinion on things, right? I don't find it useful to be, because here's the thing, right? If I want to go in a TikTok debate or go into a debate with people that are on the opposite side of the cultural political spectrum, there's no way I can keep that audience if I'm doing that. It is really easy to, hey, Trey with the 10 for the Kofifi. Appreciate you, brother. Dude, I could always use coffee money. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate you, dog. No, I think the biggest, like, you're not going to keep the audience if you're going in there guns blazing. Because they're just going to shut you down. So the only way to truly get through to that crowd and to keep the audience going, right? Like, I have to play the game. And the game is, you need to approach them with kid gloves, because they're not willing to give you quarter. That's the point. I am willing to give them quarter, because as I've said before, and many others much smarter than me have said before, is that the truth wins out. If these people want to talk out their ass and expose themselves for the liars that they are, I'm so right about this. This is 100% the truth. Well, good. You keep talking. You keep making yourself look like the fool. Because at the end of the day, I don't look stupid for going in there civilly. They look stupid for getting unhinged at someone who's keeping cool and who's just, disagreeing with them. Hey, I don't agree with that stance. I think you're wrong because of X, Y, and Z. And then they go off on an unhinged rant. You guys have been here long enough to know that that's how it happens. I go in there, civil, and they lose their mind. And a lot of, I'll say, a lot of those people are obviously open to civility because they keep me there for 45 minutes. It's a long damn time. That's a pretty good sandwich. And I know people know the saying. An eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. If you don't understand that phrase, you need to think about it long and hard. And you can roll your eyes, oh, this guy with his fucking empty platitudes. It is 100%. It is 100% it's what we're seeing. We see people just plucking out each other's eyes because that's how they treat me. They're not going to do anything. Blah blah blah. Like, no way, no fucking way. You can't just keep plucking each other's eye out because the other person did it too. We're gonna destroy ourselves over it. Even something as simple as fucking comic books or video games. Because here's a secret that none of you really want to know. At the end of the day, not one single video made about Joker 2 matters. Not one single video about Dragon Age Veilguard makes a difference. You know what makes a difference? Most of the stuff occurring offline, being present with your family, making memories with them. And again, the unfortunate part is, and if I'm being genuine here, the chat last night was fucking awful. Like, anything that I would say regarding like family, like my kids showing up, all of a sudden like cucked me. So like my wife makes a homemade apple crisp. My son brings it down, says, "What's up, bruh?" And suddenly the chat blows up that I'm some fucking caged cuck that gets pegged. What the absolute fuck is wrong with people? Like, I want you to think about that for a second. A family man, a guy who has a family and who's not fucking closeted in some goddamn basement, wasting away, proclaiming to be a racist and fucking celebrating it. Fuck these people. I don't give a fuck who clips it, who is offended by it. Fuck you if you are going into someone's chat and cucking them over the fact that they have a camera. Fuck you. All of an 8-hour conversation about how it's not getting cucked. The secret is, don't read the chat. So I won't make that mistake again. But that shit pisses me off. Don't come at me sideways because I decide to raise the next channel, the next generation of decent human beings. I ain't doing it. I'm not playing that fucking game. And before anyone starts, you can't take a joke, bro. You can't take a joke, bro. It was the whole fucking stream, basically. And I was there for a conversation with a friend, which we had. I was there for a conversation with a friend. But for an audience to do that shit, like, I hope you guys never do that shit. Someone comes on, starts talking about how they're a family man, or their kids there. Don't do that shit. Grow a fucking spine, be a man. Don't fucking say that shit. get like this often. I don't get angry, especially with people in our sphere. But a lot of what I was saying applied directly to the people in that chat. And that's it. I love the conversation. I love being invited onto his channel to talk about that. I think it's important when you disagree with someone, especially who's a friend or has been involved with you, like you've had friendly conversations and you're in the same sphere. I think it's important that you hash it out and talk face to face, or voice to voice, on video. I think that's really an exercise, even if it doesn't go the way you want it to go. No, they didn't say anything about my son. That they were starting to insinuate the fact that because my wife gave him something to give me, that was somehow there was negative comments about that whole situation. There was plenty of comments after that happened about me being a cuck and me getting pegged, which is weird. Very fucking weird. But holy shit, it's hot in here. But I did, I mean, there was partially that this live stream is to sort of illustrate the fact that, like, the content I do, like, it absolutely 100% might not be your fucking cup of tea. Over the past year, I would say I've tried to take a less and less extreme stance on things. There's stuff I'm not generally willing to give quarter to, but there's too much stuff. The very thing that we fight against. And if I see those things, I might call them out. My video about Melanie Mack was the same thing. My tweets with her. I don't wish her any ill will. I wish, just like I said last night on his stream, that people would just use a little caution when they're doing these things. When you're having a live stream discussing games, like, pretend that you're. And I'm not saying this isn't how he should run his stream. I'm speaking to the universe. I saw that and I thought, oh, if people are going to, like, continue to grow and grow the circle outside of the established audience, like, we need to not do it this way, in my opinion. I'm saying those words. I shouldn't need to annotate that, but somehow, for some reason, I need to say. I'm not speaking on a person. I'm just saying this. Pretend you're sitting in your mom's house. Etiquette, manners, all those things matter. And for some reason, that's a wild expectation. That's a wild expectation. I'm not fucking talking about any one person. And it just grows tiring because I grow tired because I want nothing but the best and success for those who are doing the thing. They need to, again, the truth always wins out. If someone is right, if what they're doing, if what people are doing in the commentary space is right, then it'll win out if it's true. But here's the thing, and this isn't necessarily my own idea. Good friend said this last night when I spoke with him privately, that just because the thing is popular doesn't make it right. And that's the point, essentially, I'm trying to make. just because a bunch of people show up and hit the like button and donate a massive amount of money each stream does not mean that you are right. The idea is popular doesn't make it right. And I think that's an important distinction. Again, just my opinion. This will always be like, and this is also not something that is new. It's not a new thing. A lot of this stuff has been happening for years and years and years. What makes it different is that it's now on like our medium. Oh, it's 100% true. I can't have the wrong opinions, right? I shouldn't say what I should say. I shouldn't say what I say because it's wrong. But like that was the interesting part about the discussion too, is that there was a discussion surrounding free speech, and yet like it seemed as if I was wrong and couldn't, you know what I mean? Like, but you know, everything you can say whatever you want, but there's certainly consequences. Yeah, no, of course there's consequences. Don't really care. I mean, do I want people to stick around and listen? Sure, like my success is tied to what others believe in it, you know? Or how many people believe in it in some regard. But I show up day after day after day, week after week. Yeah, no, I agree, Nobert. I agree with you, Nobert. I forget what I was saying, but if you guys think of it, if you haven't hit the like button, do me a solid and shoot me a like. Like I show up day after day because I believe in what I'm saying. I try and put it in practice in my real life too. That's essentially where I'm at. I'm not here every day of the week, and I'm not putting out 2 or 3 videos a day, because like I don't believe that there's that much important shit to talk about. There's not enough stuff out there that I think I could truly make it like a quality commentary on, or that would be quality. Like, I think coverage of Sweet Baby Inc. is important in understanding like why what they've done is probably not great for entertainment. And like, you know, we could look at the bottom line and see what happened to a lot of these. Like, there were some videos out there that were good, like kind of talking about how Sweet Baby Inc. putting its like stamp on a lot of this stuff, it, you know, none of it really mattered at the end of the day. Like, you know, okay, that cool. Like, in some regards, that's empirical, and I can see what's going on. Well, like, you know, you can only take so much of that before you know. Okay, we get that doesn't work. Doesn't work. Cool. And this is just how my brain works. You know, my brain works in a way like you know, once I'm beyond a certain story, like I get it, you know, Sweet Baby Inc. bad, and I've seen the evidence why, and it's because a lot of these creators, and I will never take that away from them. They have been very informative in their ways. So that's what I mean. Right, and like Sketch, like I mean, like this is what I'm saying. Like I want to hear more. Like I want to hear more about the cool shit that's going on. And I'm telling you guys right now, I I'm talking with some friends about doing a show just like this because I want to see the difference too. Like, I'm not just gonna sit and bitch about it, right? I know I'm sure plenty of people were saying like, "Oh, why don't you fucking do something about it, you lazy fuck?" You know, stop fucking bitching and being jealous of these creators. Which I want to address that real quick. Jealousy is something that happens to everyone. I'm not jealous of any of these people in this sphere. I consider them friends. I've met a lot of them, and they're good people. Here's what I would love one day. I would love to make content full time. Have I put in the effort to do so? No. That's on me. I'm not jealous of other people's success. What the fuck? Like, I want nothing but the best for them. I don't want to take anything away from them. But I've never truly put in the time that's required to do this full time. And that's on me. And I 100% recognize that. I recognize that there is a lot that I need to do still in order to make it all happen. And maybe it'll happen one day and maybe it won't. In the interim though, I'm having a great fucking time. Even if I just did this once a week where I talk to you guys, look, there's 13 people here right now watching me drive a truck down to where I work, talking about shit and entertainment in the commentary sphere. Sorry, but I'm impressed. Like, I know 14's not a lot, like next to some of these creators, but to have 14 people watching you drive a car and talk and ramble, like, solid. Like, I'm not, like, I appreciate every single person, and obviously I'm doing something right. So can I do it? Yes. Am I upset with myself that I haven't committed to that? Absolutely. That's not jealousy. That's not me wanting to take someone down in order to up myself. No, you guys are awesome, man. Like, I'm always blown away at the amount of people that sit through these and listen, you know. And even after the fact, like, people watch the VODs and they comment on these a lot of times. I mean, I know in oh, he's just bored. Oh, Kojo, get back to drawing, man. Like, I want to do everything I can to inspire people on some level to be a part of the creative community. National Novel Writing Month is in 3 days. If you're wanting to write a novel and you need an excuse to write, buckle down, set a goal. Like, the goal is 50,000 words. If you can't do 50,000, who cares? But at least set a goal. Set 250 words a day. I'm going to sit down and write 250 words a day of the book I want to write. Do it, man. Now's the time. I'm going to do it. I'm going to post my shit every single day. Or, don't hold me. I might not be every day, but I will post progress multiple times a week on it. I'm just saying now is a good time to do all that stuff. You can make this content. And it might not be good. That's okay. Just make something. I know like, people reference Pirate Software a lot, but the one thing I like about him is the fact that he's like, you know, you should just make something. Even if it's not good, it probably won't be good, but just fucking make something that you're proud of. Yeah, dude. No, it's hard. I think the idea of evergreen content, I mean, we're all swimming in a sphere that's a bit oversaturated. I might do my own Brahma. I've had someone ask if you know, I'm doing anything as well. So I might do my own thing on election night. I haven't decided yet, though. I haven't decided. I figured that you were doing your own thing because that is your bread and butter. But yeah, I haven't fully decided if I'm going to cover that on election night or whatever. It'd probably be very smart of me to do so. But I'm at the point now where I just want it over with. I want the election done. There's just a lot of vile shit out there. People are just the worst versions of themselves right now. And in some respects, I want to see this over with, because I either want former years of Trump or I want him to go away. Because I know if he loses, like, it's pretty much done. What's up, John Connors? Yeah, no, I think the evergreen content it can be difficult, but I think, speaking from like conviction and authenticity, that fucking word starts getting thrown around now, and I'm kind of sick of it. But being authentic in your content, which, you know, again, I think people can see through pretty generally. Yeah, it's, don't get me wrong, it can be difficult to find. No, Elon will reanimate Robo Trump and he will rule as Borg Trump forever. One can hope that it is the future we deserve. Yeah, you know, I don't know. Like, I hope people understand what I mean, like, about this content's not for you. I understand it's kind of contentious to say so. You know, game journalists have said this ad nauseum at this point, that that, you know, oh, this game isn't for you. And I think largely they're right. To sort of to summate what I was saying, like, we've likely lost a lot of these institutions and these AAA developers, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. They are making stories that they want to make, and in a lot of ways, it isn't for us. There's nothing necessarily wrong, unfortunate. The alternative is to take the long road in developing something that is ours. Like, you might need to move to a medium that we can make a difference in. There might be room for, and it shouldn't even be called this, but like a non-woke developer. Oh, I spoke, Brahma, I spoke with Hypnotic last night about my comments from like a week or so ago regarding his Saturday Night Hypnosis, where you know, they had I just taken I didn't take offense to it. I was making a comment about how I thought it was a bit inappropriate to label that developer as Spear Chucker Studios. Yeah, and here's the thing, Sketch, and this is what I'll say. If that's what they do, it is self-immolation, right? It is quite literally not what you want. It is quite literally not made for you at that point. They are actively choosing to do that, and they've proven time and again that is what they're doing. This product is no longer for you. And that's not a bad thing, because guess what? When you and everyone else abstain from that product and don't buy it, that directly hits their bottom line. Directly. Like, again, if you don't want to support that, then don't buy that product. That product is only going to help them. And that's why a lot of people, they are upset that a lot of creators are still supporting Disney by watching things like The Acolyte and commenting on it, because you're only breathing life into that thing. You're only breathing life into it. And honestly, I think like a lot of the controversy surrounding the Acolyte is 100% planned in order to keep it alive, in an attempt to boost their numbers. Oh, all this negative press surrounding the Acolyte, I need to see if it's that bad. Oh, all this like extremely positive press around the Acolyte, which is obviously manufactured, I got to check it out. now all of a sudden, oh, look at how many people watch this show. Well, I mean, yeah, because everyone can't stop talking about it. But I do think that there are people who are going to. You're not going to stop everyone from watching it, but the engagement on streaming services is only helping. You know, the longer you watch, you know, again, even if I don't know. It's a lot. There's many factors in this. It's not any one factor that is causing success or failures. There's a lot of things happening all at once, and to say, you know, it's just. I mean, I think DEI causes a multitude of problems. Like, there's nothing wrong with diversity, and I don't think anyone here is against diversity. And I think if you are against, like, diverse people, like, maybe there's a problem, maybe we shouldn't follow each other. But, like, everyone's looking at diversity in the sort of wrong way. Like, you should still want qualified people, and we should, you know, we should be encouraging all of this. But, like, if you want your company to be successful, you almost need that best resume in there. They're never going to bring back the extended universe, but I begrudgingly didn't mind the Acolyte as its first decent story Disney has done for the brand. Oof, that's quite the statement. I mean, they gave it the old college try. I think if I'm going to be, like, positive about it, they tried. I think part of it is there was major issues with script cohesion or story cohesion. I think some of the acting was bad. I'll just be straight up. A lot of the stuff didn't make sense. I don't want to get into the Acolyte, but I think they gave it the old college try. But I think they, as far as storytelling goes, they really missed the mark on what it means to tell a good story. And, like, explicit diversity and telling people things are diverse is not what makes them good or diverse. Like, most of the stuff that you see in times past, the diversity is there, but you're not told it's there. You just know, like, oh wow, there's a completely eclectic group of people. Like Alien is such a good example of this, in, like, the group of people that's there. There was no need to necessarily to say, like, oh, look how diverse this is. Like, no, it was great storytelling. It's a great horror film. But because it fits together so well in this universe and the story is told in such a fantastic way, you don't even see it. There's no issue that it's a female lead. It's a female lead, and she's killing it. She's a great actress. End of story. I mean, but it's you know, again, there's many things working at once here. Almost all of those people in Alien are fantastic actors, and they did their part. Yeah, no, Bert, I agree. I agree there. Like I said, I don't want this to turn into the Acolyte critique, but right, and even in the original Alien, or maybe it was Aliens, there's in one of the character bios, it talks about how a character is like a non-binary character. Like it flashes up quick, and if you pause it, you can, like, read the bio. Like, holy shit, no one gave a fuck. No one gave a fuck. Because guess what? It just didn't matter. The script was written in such a way that you understood that this was a futuristic, like, place. So, guys, again, please know I'm sorry that I'm not reading chat. Obviously, I can't read it for obvious reasons. I'm not ignoring you. yeah, man, I just, and again, like they're, they're proving time and again that they're really incapable of writing something like good. They do have their moments, but in a big way, modern Hollywood is struggling with storytelling. Well, they should have adapted the EU. My thought is they've lost so much money with Marvel over the years. Like they've made a lot, but also then lost a lot, that they probably didn't want to pay for the royalties that show would likely make to these writers. They wanted to come up with something and try and keep it all for themselves. I would say that's a big reason why, personally. What's up, Nuclear? Good to see you, Charlie. I hate you, confirmed. Yeah. Nah, man. Yeah, you also check out Hojo's stuff, man. He's an indie creator. The Mythicals, brother. Hell yeah. I mean, to be fair, Aaron, they did say that they were, I mean, they made the EU non-canon, which was honestly their biggest mistake. They did essentially, just like Rings of Power did, they basically proclaimed that this was essentially their fan fiction, that this was their own reimagining. Yes, I am, Charlie. It's a process, dude. I'm in the process of enrolling in a college program too to pursue software development more seriously as well, to give myself a better backbone and foundation and everything. But my passion recently has been TV and movies. I really want to get back into seeing new releases, talking about them, and even video games, talking about them in a way that is more constructive. Like as an example, I bought and played Concord. I even streamed it. I liked what I played. But I had my criticisms. Like, sure, the character models were cringe as fuck, man. Like, and just like weird, washed out color palettes. It was a very, very odd design choice. And this, so again, this is my opinion on it, right? Again, I have to annotate because people may think that I'm directly attacking them. I'm not. My opinion is that attacking these things from that way is much more productive than just saying this is woke trash because of DEI. That doesn't mean anything to anyone anymore. It's been overused so much that it's lost its real meaning. So explain to me, why doesn't this game actually work? Like, give me the system. I probably will, Trey, don't worry. Like, I think there's actually decent potential with Concord had they marketed it properly first, because like a game like that, when you're going up against something like Overwatch and like Destiny, because they very much mimicked both of them. You're going up against something like that, you need to market the shit out of that. Like, the marketing budget needs to be huge. Tell people why they need to play this game or why they need to be a part of it, or it can't just be, look how diverse we are. Like that, no, that's an instant fail. Like, don't worry about that. That part takes care of itself. Because believe it or not, like I watch movies, and I can look at a movie that is, you play a game that is female centric or African American centric, and still feel for them, because it's not about that as much as it is the story that's being told. And one of the things we're going to talk about, like, I'm going to have like a watch party in my Discord, is watching the movie Turning Red, because there was so much like controversy surrounding Turning Red when it came out. And some people said, oh, this movie's like total trash, it's awful. And I thought, like, well, it's a movie about girls. It's a movie about puberty for girls. But it's not explicit really in any way. Like, it is, I could feel the emotion in that movie, but it hit less for me because it's all about a girl growing up and hitting puberty. Like, there's really nothing for boys in that movie. And you could say that that is a pitfall of that movie, but it's not a bad movie. Like, honestly, I'd be interested in a panel full of women who watched it to get their perspective on it. But it's certainly cringe in a lot of ways. What's up, Code? Yeah, I saw someone say Apex Legends. Apex Legends is an interesting one because they are a company that is failing for many reasons, and the whole, like, it's a Disney movie, and it's like, I think the other part about before I get into Apex, I think the other cool part about Turning Red was the fact that they kind of wove in like what I believe is like some folklore, some Japanese or Chinese folklore. Like that's cool, in my opinion. Right? It's not for a 40-year-old Aaron. Like I have kids, so I watched it about 12 times because my boys were entertained by it. They liked it, but they don't understand what's happening. But yeah. And I know Code would not listen, he wouldn't put up with that shit that's explicit. So in that way, I know if someone had an issue with something, it would likely be him. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh, Apex Legends is an interesting one because they started out pretty normal. The character designs were pretty safe. They're cool. They made sense, and then they leaned really into the gender ideology thing, and I think it turned a lot of people away. But also, I don't know. I think the staleness of their game is from it, but also now this new battle pass thing that you can't earn the currency to, you basically have to buy 2 battle passes in order to make it, to complete it, which is a strange monetization method. In a time where people are just really upset about how games monetize, I'm surprised that people are putting up with that and it's not bigger news. Today's a bit of a longer drive because there's a little bit more traffic and it's raining. So it's hot as shit in my truck. I'm you can't tell, but I'm sweating a bit. But yeah, I just, I want people to realize that there's a lot to enjoy. There's a lot to enjoy out there, and it actually possible to enjoy some of this stuff on your own. I think, I've seen a lot of stuff recently about how streamers have ruined Call of Duty, and I think I've said this before, and I'm guilty of it, is streaming in general has ruined gaming in a lot of ways. Creating metas, even in single player games or in co-op games, that like were present before, but now it makes it even more like even in something like you just can't, like I maybe in some ways I agree that MMOs like have their meta, because you want, like, if you're a raider in something like WoW, like, hey, we got to clear it in this amount of time, and if you don't have the proper gear, we're not going to take you on. Like, I get it, but in things like it just feels like you can't enjoy things. Oh, you're doing this way, you're using that build here, oh, like, bro. People are min-maxing in TCG card sim. Oh my god. Like, that's what I mean. Like, just go enjoy your fucking video game. You know, like, I guess there's an audience for it. And again, I'm not an angry, jealous person. These guys, if they want to make videos on how to min-max TCG card simulator, fucking go for it. But I do think that in some respects that it has ruined the enjoyment of gaming. Like, it's very difficult for people to just sit and like unwind from a game. Oh, we have to be doing it this way. Oh, someone's watching me play this. Like, someone sitting watching me play whatever. Oh, you're not using this build? I guess not. Like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna go somewhere else. Sweet. Like, you know, like, it's just weird. All right, Code, be good, dude. You know, it is what it is. But there's a lot of good games out there. A lot of good games. Even though, I don't know, I just encourage people to try, like, don't just take what people say to heart on what games are bad, right? Like, there is something to be said for just trying something out and seeing if you enjoy it. Like, is it, like, I wonder, like, is it possible that Dragon Age Veilguard will be a fun game mechanically, combat-wise, but, like, cringe in story? You know what I mean? Like, are there going to be cringy aspects of the story? Probably. Definitely. We've already seen screenshots of it. If they're true. But what if the combat is, like, really good? I was, like, seeing comparisons being drawn to, like, Mass Effect combat. Like, is that, like, because I had a lot of fun with combat. Oh, they're not, Mike? See, that's what I mean. Like, if the game falls apart in combat mechanics and, like, that, there you go. That sucks. That definitely sucks. I'd like to see the Apple TV series Silo get adapted to. I really want to. I want to watch that, and I want to read the books. You have to show off your top scars to win. The final choice in the game is to show off your scars. I'll show you mine if you show me yours. Adventure. I used to be an adventurer until I took an arrow through both my boobs. My next series that I'm going to read is Foundation. I'm on an Isaac Asimov kick right now. I'm currently reading The Gods Themselves, which is really fucking good. For sure, Trey. We'll set something up. hit me up in a DM so I don't forget. But yeah, let's definitely do it. Yeah, no, I agree, Mike. Yeah, I'm getting pretty sick of AAA games like CD Projekt Red and the whole what was that game called? Cyberpunk. Everyone fucking celebrated the shit out of that game. I'm still here being like, well, I'll take the L on my Starfield analysis. Like, Starfield was, I liked it to start, but it's not a good game. Like, what they did is pretty inexcusable. Cyberpunk's the same thing. I don't really care what CD Projekt Red puts out anymore. And in a lot of ways, Bethesda has worn out any goodwill because of what they did with Starfield. Like, that was the biggest joke in a long time. Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. It's like, and like, yeah, and like, two things can be true at once, right? Launch was awful. Like, launch was awful. The game got better, but like, it is highly unlikely that when The Witcher 4 comes out, I'm not going to buy that game at launch. I will absolutely wait for a deep sale, like a 50% off, and maybe play it. Maybe. They've worn out their goodwill. Same thing with Elder Scrolls 6. I'm sorry, but like, I'd rather do another playthrough of Skyrim with some light mods. I can honestly enjoy that way more. And with Starfield's release, shit, again, you gotta hold the company's feet to the fire, man. Like, abstaining from investing in them monetarily is really how you get these companies to change. Don't buy their games because don't pre-order them. Don't buy them at launch because you're telling them it's okay to fuck up. You're telling them, you take my money and do whatever the hell you want with it and don't respect my time. Like, all that time you spend in like a crash game, loading screens, like a game's in development for 6 or 7 years, and you're seeing a cigarette just stay in the middle, like, while he's waving his hand. Like, even something like that, I don't care how complex games are. Like, there's no excuse for 8 years to go by and you can't even get the cigarette to stay in his hands. I understand it's complex. I'm learning it myself. You got to hit a deadline. I'd rather transparency and saying, hey, this game's not ready. They just delayed Path of Exile 2 3 weeks because they need more time. Great. Thanks for telling us. Thanks for being upfront that you need more time to polish your game. Huge. Be upfront with your audience. Let them know this isn't ready to ship. We'll ship it as soon as it's ready. I'd rather a game continually be delayed and come out looking polished as shit than come out and be broken. Nobody wants that. But I'll tell you who's way more in tune with this stuff. Indie developers. Why? Because time matters to them. Time matters to the indie developer because they're a small team. They don't have a bunch of money to throw at things. So they have to be smart with their resources. Mike, I think that's good. I think you should definitely play Veilguard. I will play it when the game goes on sale. I'm not going to buy it before then. I will. Yeah, Hojo, have a good one. Thanks for hanging out, man. I appreciate you, dude. Go, guys, go check out the Mythicals. Go check out Hojo's comic. Look, search the Mythicals and definitely invest in indie comics. It's great. Support that, man. I'll wait for a sale for Veilguard to play. I just can't. I can't rationalize a $70 person. The only reason I'm playing Black Ops 6 is because it's on Game Pass. That's it. I won't play. I wouldn't spend $70 on a game like that right now. But it's on Game Pass, so do it. And here's the secret to COD. Just play hardcore. Just play hardcore. Then everyone's gun is the same. I can walk around and one-shot someone in the chest with a pistol. All good. There's no time to kill, nothing. I have fun with it. I have fun with it, and I refuse to get involved with like the metagame. Nice, Aaron. Thanks for hanging out, bro. Appreciate you. Yeah, no, it's oh, for sure. I work in construction, so I'm project manager, so I don't like get my hands dirty necessarily, but no, it's a good thing to be in. Satisfying. Yeah, I think that people should play these games that, like, even. Yeah, I'm done with Warzone. Like, I think the only reason I would play Warzone at this point is if I'm like in a quad and like we're all fucking around. I won't play Warzone solo. Like, it's too many sweaties. I don't need to come up against people like that. And again, the skill-based matchmaking is so broken. Like, you have a good match or two good matches, and all of a sudden you're against pros, and it's like, dude, what in the absolute fuck is going on here? Like, why am I playing against these people? I'm not this good. Just because I had a couple of good matches doesn't mean I should be playing against fucking Shroud and everyone else. But people should play games, you know, when a group is, when people are coming out and, you know, well, here's the thing. I think people should play games that are in their wheelhouse, right? If you're someone who's into RPGs and you've been in the Dragon Age, you've been into Dragon Age since the beginning and you're enjoying it, you should absolutely try out Veilguard, because you're playing the continuation of a story, right? Like, see if it really measures up to what things were before. Don't just bail on something because someone said that this was woke trash. Experience it for yourself, because you might be surprised of changes that are made, right? Like I'll give you an example. So I really liked the story of Horizon Zero Dawn, and I liked the gameplay. I think it was the superior of the two games. But I think the combat was better and deeper when it comes to Forbidden West. I think Forbidden West took it to another level, and I think it was for the better. They totally fucked themselves. They shot themselves directly in the dick with their storytelling. The storytelling was awful. So, play games that you enjoy. Don't just immediately go to, this is woke trash. And the thing is listen to the people you trust. I have no problem with, you know, listen to people who you trust, but don't put stock in everything they say. Trying something out for yourself, especially if it's within your means to do so, is totally smart. That's why things like Game Pass are good to have, because a lot of these games come out day one on Game Pass. Your $15 a month investment is the perfect way to get in there. You can demo a lot of these games and say, hey, like, okay, like the first, you know, I play this game for 20 hours. I like what I'm seeing so far. The combat lines up with what I want in a game. Great. The dialogue's a bit cringe, but there's some cool story elements. I like where this character's going. I like where that character's been. Like, not every part of something you're going to agree with. Like Like, there's even aspects of Final Fantasy VII that I didn't always like. There's like side story quest lines that were just stupid to me. That doesn't mean the whole story is awful and dumb and whatever. Like, who cares? I don't know. I could rant a long time about a lot of this stuff, but play games and enjoy games, guys. Watch movies and TV shows and enjoy them. And consume stuff that you like. There's nothing wrong with going back to things that you enjoyed in the past. And I promise I'm not just going to be part of the problem and bitching about stuff all the time. That's not... I spoke for like 2 hours last night with friends about this project I have coming up that is going to be my solution to things. My solution. Because that's what it's about. The don't consume, engage with art. I think engaging with art is great. And like I said, I will be talking about movies. I will be talking about TV shows and video games in a way that I think is productive, that people can look to, and maybe even have special episodes throughout the year that mark, different stages of or different aspects of games and movies, my own little awards, because I want to celebrate these things. Like, there's movies that are really bad that have a great score or some good cinematography. That stuff should be celebrated. The people, the visionaries behind, like Lord of the Rings of Power, I'll just say as a final thought, really bad storytelling, but there's some great cinematography in that show that you could talk about. Like, there's some great imagery. Doesn't necessarily line up with everything, but we can celebrate the creative minds behind them and not praise the show and say it's the best thing ever. So, guys, I'm at work now. I appreciate everyone. We got 15 likes on the stream. We had about 16 people at one point watching. I am very thankful that you guys are here and helping me. It really is. It means the world to me. Please consider liking the stream before you go if you're heading out. I have a lot of stuff in the works. My life is busy. I want to be here and making content. We will be doing that. And I need to know what it is I'm doing, and I need to have a plan written out. That's the only way that this is going to work in the long run. So thank you guys. Mike, I love you, dude. I am looking forward to Epic Verse shit. I want to watch all of your movies. Anyone who's working on stuff, feel free to join my Discord, share what you're working on. If you have a YouTube channel, share what you're doing. I want to see it all, dude. I really want to see alternative media big time. A serious man, good to see you, brother. I'm out of here, though. Y'all be good. Get back to work. I need to go start working. Love you. Bye.